Hey you, me here. You know when you fall asleep in your dreams and then wake up in a bigger shock than Ted Bundy? Well, I'm still asleep. Well, that's so cool though. I've always wanted to consciously and freely explore a dream world, although it's just doors. Wait.
So to summarize to those who have played the game but need a refresher, Omori is a game about a boy named Sunny exploring a dream world that he created after pushing his sister Mari down the stairs and killing her, which him and his friend Basil framed as a suicide. The friend group they were in falls apart, and Sunny decides to stay at home for 4 years straight. Sunny is then confronted by his old friend Kel for the approximately 1278th day in a row, and when Sunny decides to step outside with Kel, he sees that everything has changed, with the group being the most sad little gay bitches ever. You probably remember the idea, but if not...
Hello, I'm the sleep paralysis demon that edits these videos. I put a link to a 40-minute video that explains the summary of this game in the description. So if you don't have an extra 20 bucks on you, or you just forgot, watch this video. And if you want, you can enter the giveaway I spent $20 whole on. That's right, me, the sleep paralysis demon. I'm giving away a free copy of the Steam version of Omori. If you want to learn more, you can look in the description for a Google document that I created. And if you want, you can turn on notifications and subscribe. It's not even if you want, it's not optional if you want to win this giveaway cupcake. So yeah, turn on notifications for my next video where I'll explain how you can win this giveaway. You will probably lose, let's be real.
So why not? Let's venture into the physically and emotionally impossible. The 27th letter. Only nerds say that's impossible, but in my eyes, anything's possible. As long as you have the power...
There's a dead f***ing child in there.
The very first room is usually the first room, mainly because it's the first. It first starts with Omori and Aubrey on the swing, while Kel sits in front of them. But when you move up, Basil starts speaking, but eventually, a second hero pops in. If you couldn't already tell, this is a mock-up of sorts of the neighbor area. Aubrey proceeds to beat the shit out of herself. What?! As mentioned before, the front stump seems to be a test room, or at least a mock-up of the neighbor's area, a room that would make the final cut. This one's not very important. It's literally just a hallway to something. I'm not really sure what it is, but it has a bunch of white ingrid orchids, so that could be something. The stump room is a room that just has stumps, and when interacting with the stumps, you get soft-locked, as the game teleports you to a room that doesn't even exist. Although, there are some dialogue in the game's code to these rooms, which seems to come from the violin incidents, but it's hard to say who's talking, as a beginning dialogue seems like Sunny is talking, but then the text saying, "Can you tell us the truth?" and "This is the only way" is shown. I think the idea for a stump area was a scrapped black space area foreshadowing the truth segment of the game, but was scrapped early on in development. And as for the text, it seems like everything up until the last couple pieces of dialogue comes from Sunny at the violins incident. The first piece of dialogue is Sunny telling himself that his violin skills suck. Then, seemingly after Mari gets pushed down the stairs, Sunny claims that she just needs to rest. Then, seemingly, Basil comes into the house, and Sunny says, "You should not have looked," finally claiming that this isn't real in sheer disbelief. As for the last two lines, it honestly is kind of a mystery. "Can you tell us the truth?" might be referencing Hiro, Kel, and Aubrey, as they are the only people in the friend group who doesn't know the truth at this point. It's hard to tell with how little information is given. The last quote, "This is the only way," it might either be referring to telling the friends the truth or framing Mari's death as a suicide. The Red Hands room is a very vacant hallway, filled with finger. It was most likely a placeholder for the cutscene where Sunny becomes zombified and starts coming off his own body. The treehouse in the lake is the largest sequence in the 99 letter rooms. It's essentially only a large room filled with ingrid orchids. It's only otherwise just a treehouse that leads back to Basil's respite. Dark Path is a relatively simple room that is essentially just a darker version of the memory lane, but it does lead to... It's just the background of the church map in black space. It's my belief that the 99 letter rooms were originally either placeholders or straight up scrapped rooms. The friend stop is literally an unfinished version of the neighbor's area. it's just a long hallway with the exact same dialogue as that scene. Dark path is just the memory lane. Right hand is another hallway similar to a different hallway, and Basil's something is literally just the background.